The Little Mermaid is one of Disney's most beloved animated classics, the story of Ariel, a mermaid princess who dreams of living on land with the human prince she falls in love with. The film has been a cultural touchstone for over 30 years and is now set to receive a live-action remake. For the classic version and the remake, fans have come up with many theories about the story, characters, and world. Ahoy there! I'm Brad with Wicked Binge, and welcome to our deep dive into the Little Mermaid fan theories, from BS to Truth Bomb. Let's start with our first category. These theories either have so many holes that they can't possibly be true, they lack evidence, or they've been confirmed false by creators. These theories are BS. First is that Naveen is the descendant of Ariel and Eric. This theory, originally proposed by Wimpy Kid Fan 37, suggests that King Triton and all other characters from The Little Mermaid exist in the same universe as the Princess and the Frog. The appearance of King Triton on a float during the Mardi Gras parade and the Princess and the Frog suggests that Triton is likely a historical figure and universe, known for being the first Sea King to allow his people to interact with humans. Additionally, Prince Naveen bears a striking resemblance to a darker-skinned version of Prince Eric and makes a deal with an evil magician that results in a species change, much like Ariel did in The Little Mermaid. And in The Little Mermaid 2, Return to the Sea, Eric and Ariel's daughter Melody looks like a young girl version of Eric and makes a similar deal with a sea witch that changes her species, mirroring Naveen's own experiences.
All I know is 1 minute I am a prince.
While this theory is not confirmed, it's an interesting possibility to consider within the Disney universe. Credit goes to Wimpy Kid Fan 37 for proposing this idea. While the theory is interesting, it's important to note that there isn't any concrete evidence. It's likely that the appearance of King Triton and the Princess and the Frog was simply a fun Easter egg for Disney fans to discover. Next is, Ariel ruined the economy of Eric's kingdom. If Ariel had become human and married Prince Eric, it's unlikely that she would have allowed fishing to continue, as it would pose a risk to her friends and family. Evidence of their fishing activity can be seen in the kitchen, where there are fish and crab present as Louis prepares dinner. In the sequel, it's revealed that a wall was built around the kingdom to protect Ariel's daughter Melody, which not only prevents fishermen from fishing, but also hinders traders from conducting business with other kingdoms. The children in the movie express dislike towards Melody, possibly because of the widespread job loss caused by Ariel and Melody, which has led to resentment towards them.
I was a regular fish out of water.
It should be noted that while some argue that mermaids probably eat fish, Sebastian makes a point in Under the Sea about humans eating fish and why it's bad, suggesting that mermaids may be vegetarians who consume kelp. This theory is discussed on Reddit's fan theories thread. Many comments suggest that the theory is flawed, since the kingdom is portrayed as wealthy and thriving, with no evidence of widespread job loss or poverty caused by the lack of fishing or trade. Additionally, some argue that it's unlikely that a single decision made by Ariel would have such a significant impact on the entire kingdom's economy. Overall, the theory is seen as unlikely by many of the commenters on the thread, although there are some who find it interesting and thought-provoking. Moving on from the BS, these theories still have a lot of problems. Not enough to say they're completely debunked, but still, these theories are full of holes. First in this category is Captain Hook killed Ariel's mom. Disney's classic movies, Peter Pan and The Little Mermaid, may have a connection, according to a long-standing fan theory. While both films are being adapted into live-action versions set for release in 2023, it's revealed that the main antagonist in Peter Pan, Captain Hook, was responsible for a tragedy that had a direct impact on The Little Mermaid story. Specifically, it suggests that Captain Hook killed Queen Athena, the mother of Ariel. Although Queen Athena is not featured in the original Little Mermaid, her story is explored in the third film, The Little Mermaid: Ariel's Beginning. The audience is introduced to Athena, who's strikingly similar to her daughter, both physically and in her curious and fun-loving attitude. In the film, it's revealed that Athena died many years before the events of the original movie, after being crushed by a pirate ship that hit the rocks when she was trying to retrieve her music box. The fan theory connecting the two films suggests that the pirate ship was commanded by Captain Hook.
Double the powder and sharpen the fuse!
As he was known for terrorizing the mermaids in Mermaid Lagoon, a tropical place where they gathered to relax and have fun with their friends. The theory is backed up by the fact that one of the mermaids in the scene bears a striking resemblance to Queen Athena, from her red hair to her greenish mermaid tail. It also suggests that Captain Hook wouldn't have hesitated to crush Queen Athena, as he'd already proven that he wasn't afraid to hurt others. For many years, this theory has been circulating on social media and has gained a large following of fans who have embraced it as truth, though the directors, John Musker and Ron Clements, have not made any any statements on the matter, leaving it as speculation among fans. However, as Disney's known for paying attention to every detail, this theory appears to have some merit. Next is, the statue of Eric was relocated to Ariel's cavern by Flotsam and Jetsam. The theory, which comes from Reddit user Audible Nod, suggests that Ursula, the villain in Disney's The Little Mermaid, had her minions, Flotsam and Jetsam, move a statue into Ariel's cavern to create discord in the Triton household. Flounder claims he found the statue, but it's unclear how he moved it given his lack of physical prowess. While there is no true demonstration of Flotsam and Jetsam's power, it's possible they moved the statue with magical strength given by Ursula. Some users point out that Flounder could have enlisted the help of other sea creatures to move the statue, or that it may have been moved by natural forces like a strong current or tidal wave. Others argue that Flotsam and Jetsam's lack of physical strength is irrelevant, as they possess magical abilities. Additionally, some users suggest that Ursula may not have had a motive to create discord in the Triton household at that point in the story. Another interesting point, in the first Kingdom Hearts, it was actually Sora, Goofy, and Donald who gave Ariel the statue. Flounder gave them the statue, thinking it would cheer Ariel up, without knowing that the statue depicted the prince she had saved earlier. That said, Kingdom Hearts is not considered canon. We now move into the middle category, where we may stumble onto some truth. Maybe. These theories are possible. First, there's a theory that suggests a darker side to Ariel's character, one that ties her to a Greek mythological creature. Ariel is a siren. Reddit user Unleash the Ducks posits that Ariel is a siren, a creature known to lure sailors to their deaths through their enchanting songs. Although the original sirens were bird-like women, the myth later evolved into mermaids, which is the more widely known variation. Now we know what you're thinking. Isn't Ariel too adorable to be a vicious killer? Well, that's what we thought too, but hear us out. You see, sirens from Greek mythology were known to seduce sailors with their enchanting melodies and lead them to their deaths on the rocky shores.
La 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 la.
Isn't it a little suspicious that Prince Eric just happens to fall for Ariel's voice after she saves him from drowning? Coincidence? When Ursula later uses Ariel's voice to enchant Eric, he becomes entranced and marries Ursula almost instantly. This suggests that Ursula is aware of Ariel's siren powers and uses them to manipulate Eric. The theory is so popular that even the TV show Supernatural features a siren named after Ariel. In the show, Ariel is one of 7 sisters who are all renowned singers in their kingdom. Her voice is considered the most beautiful and powerful of them all, which fits well into siren mythology. The focus on music and the number of sisters also align with siren mythology. There also seems to be a real hatred towards humans in the film. King Triton is often angry with Ariel for interacting with the human world, calling it barbaric. Even when Ariel explores a sunken ship, she remarks, "Isn't it fantastic?" suggesting she enjoys the sight of human tragedy. She even loots the site for artifacts, which could be seen as trophies from her victims. This theory raises questions about the Disney Renaissance's portrayal of princesses, with Ariel's desire for a husband driving her willingness to sell her voice. She becomes powerless and lost, with her instincts for seduction no longer working. The theory suggests that Ariel's greatest asset, her song, has been taken away, leaving her vulnerable. Early in the film, Eric's ship pilots into a thunderstorm, while Ariel speaks to her friends, a rookie mistake for a sailor, suggesting her voice is so powerful that even hearing it distantly enchanted Eric enough to sink his ship. While Disney's known for its family-friendly content, the company's source material often has darker themes. In fact, The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen was a story of unrequited love that ended with the protagonist's tragic death. It's possible that Disney incorporated this darker side into the movie, suggesting that the story is not about 2 people from different worlds falling in love, but about a killer falling for their victim. Next is, all of Triton's daughters have different mothers. Well, it looks like Triton may have been quite the merman about town before he settled down with Athena. Triton's love for Athena was unwavering, but that doesn't mean he didn't have other partners before her. In fact, a Reddit theory from 8 years ago suggested that it would make sense for Triton's daughters to have different mothers, and the theory even delves into the intricacies of merfolk reproduction.
Hey, let's see now.
But fast forward to 2023, the recent toy set featuring Ariel and her sisters also provides a glimpse into Triton's possible sea nanigans. Each mermaid has a unique skin tone, hairstyle, and vibrant fin, which accentuates their distinct personalities. The lineup of Triton's 7 daughters is diverse, and it begs the question of how they came to have such distinct characteristics. The answer, however, is probably simple. Each daughter represents one of the 7 seas, and it makes sense for the mothers who bore them to be as different as the oceans they embody. The new toys featuring Aquata, Andrina, Arista, Athena, Adela, Alana, and Ariel showcase their individuality and unique personality traits. On the flip side, Triton, you got a little explaining to do, man. The next conspiracies make a lot of sense. In fact, we think they're more likely to be true than not. These theories are probable. First in the category is Noma Dumezwini's character will be Ariel's mom. Speculation surrounds Noma Dumezwini's character in the upcoming The Little Mermaid, with actress Halle Bailey revealing that the film will focus more on Ariel's personal growth rather than her search for love. Many believe that Dumezwini will play the role of Ariel's mother. In the animated sequels, King Triton's wife, Queen Athena, is mentioned, but she never appeared in the original film. It was revealed that she was killed by sailors, which explains why King Triton is reluctant to let Ariel explore the world above the sea. Since Ariel's mother had little impact on her story, her inclusion in the live-action remake could be an interesting choice. While the trope of the disapproving father is common in Disney movies,
This obsession with humans has to stop.
the inclusion of a motherly influence on Ariel's life could bring a new dimension to the story. Disney has been known to rely on the dead parent trope, but Ariel's mother does not necessarily have to be alive during the film's central timeline for this theory to be true. Flashbacks could show what Ariel's relationship with her mother was like, giving her character a stronger foundation and addressing some of the issues present in the original film. Given she'll be playing a character not seen in the original Disney film, we feel it's likely that this will be the role of Ariel's mom. Next is writing Eric a note would not have mattered anyway. The Little Mermaid has faced considerable criticism over the fact that Ariel, who was shown to read and write, did not simply write a note to Eric explaining her situation and what he needed to do to help her stay human and win his heart. However, there is a straightforward explanation for why this never happened and why it wouldn't have been successful. In the movie, Ursula mentions that Eric must give Ariel the kiss of true love, which cannot be accomplished through a regular kiss.
You look wonderful.
Writing Eric a note wouldn't have aided in achieving this goal and may have even hindered it by making Ariel seem crazy, as she would be confessing that she's a mythical creature princess who lost her voice and washed up on the beach in rags. Eric would likely be less willing to love or kiss her, which would defeat the ultimate objective of obtaining his true love kiss. Based on the comments in the Reddit thread, it seems that many people agree with the theory that writing a note to Eric wouldn't have worked. Many commenters point out that Ariel needed Eric to fall in love with her, which couldn't have been accomplished through a note. Several others say that the note may have made Ariel look crazy or desperate, which could have had the opposite effect of what she intended. Overall, the theory seems plausible and supported by many of the commenters. Next is, the conclusion of Beauty and the Beast is tragic due to The Little Mermaid. We all know that in Disney's Beauty and the Beast and his servants transform back into their human forms when the witch's spell is broken. However, while watching an old Mickey cartoon called Mickey's Magical Christmas snowed in at the House of Mouse, a surprising discovery was made. In the cartoon, Belle, the Beast, Lumiere, and Cogsworth were depicted in their original beast, candlestick, clock forms, which is not immediately unusual. However, the presence of Ariel and Prince Eric from The Little Mermaid, with Ariel having legs and speaking, implies that this event happened after the end of both movies. This suggests that the Beast and his servants may have reverted to their original forms through another curse, or the original curse may have never been lifted.
Wanna see me do a trick?
This evidence points to the possibility that the Beast and his servants will remain as monsters and inanimate objects. If they had truly transformed back into their human forms, we would have seen them as humans at the award show, along with Ariel's legs and voice. But real quick, before we get to our next entries, if you're enjoying this video, do us a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. We ask because we'd really appreciate the help getting to our next milestone, and we have lots more videos we'd love to share with you. Finally, we've reached the truth, confirmed truth. People have blown the whistle on these theories with such compelling evidence that they must be true. These theories are the truth bombs. And our final theory is Ariel and Hercules are cousins. Disney films offer an interesting possibility of connections based on the mythological origins of certain characters, such as Hercules and Ariel. The family tree of the Olympian gods depicted in Hercules shows that Zeus is the father of Hercules, but his mother differs from the original Greek myth. Nevertheless, the film portrays other children of Zeus, including Athena, Ares, Apollo, Artemis, and Aphrodite, in crowd scenes. Poseidon, Zeus's brother, also had several children, including Triton, who became a herald for his father and was often depicted as a merman in Greek mythology. Triton Triton's merman characteristics could have influenced his inclusion in The Little Mermaid as the father of Ariel and the king of the seas. As the son of Zeus and Poseidon respectively, Hercules and Triton are technically cousins, establishing a familial connection with Ariel. This connection is fitting, given the mythological origins of the characters, despite the films taking place in different settings and time periods.
I happen to be a hero.
Furthermore, both Hercules and Ariel share similar traits, including their desire to explore and discover themselves, their innocence, and their prowess in battle. Although Ariel is not as powerful as Hercules, she uses Triton's trident to defeat Ursula's minions in The Little Mermaid's climax. Both characters also reject their divine origins, with Hercules choosing to stay on Earth with Meg instead of returning to Olympus, and Ariel becoming human to be with Prince Eric. This commonality further strengthens the connection between the characters, despite their differing mythological backgrounds. Alright guys, that's it. Let us know in the comments section what you think. Which theories do you think are the biggest truth bombs? And do you have any theories we missed? Make sure to hit that notification bell and binge our Good to Evil playlist. But most importantly, stay wicked.